Finally, we get another Game of Thrones episode. Now, before my co-host interrupts me again, I just want to go ahead and say that I'm John, your host, or better known on Twitter as Sir John Aaron. And with me, as always, Mr. Interrupter himself, Ben Everts. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm pumped to start talking about this Game of Thrones episode.
Me too, buddy. Me too. You know, I when we talked about the long night and kind of, got over it, and not necessarily over it, but when we kind of let it sink in and where we were able to bask in its epicness, and I hate that word, epic, but that's all I really could say about Long Night because goddamn, is it not cinematic?
Oh yeah.
And so, coming up to the last of the Starks, we had no idea what we were going to witness. We had, I think maybe, we knew that certain people were going to be, there, or at least hanging out in Winterfell, but
right.
I don't think I was ready for this episode. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I don't think neither one of us was ready. Especially for some scenes that we're gonna discuss later on. But yeah, we weren't ready. I was not ready.
I wasn't ready. And they open it up with the funeral pyre, and we get to see Jorah. We see Theon, and we see a lot of the other main people that obviously died that were part of the Living's army.
Right.
And it was just kind of it was a lot to take in just seeing that, because there was a lot of pyres. But just knowing that Dany and Sansa both had kind of lost somebody that had been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
And I know you like to give shit about the Long Night and say, "Oh, no one important died," but dude,
I didn't say that nobody important died. I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your exact words were nobody died except one person. That's right.
Well, one person that really mattered.
Oh, get the fuck.
Well, the thing is that they've been there since day one, but I think I said that on Twitter that if Ghost would have died, it would have hurt me more than anybody else to die in that episode. Jeez. So,
well,
that's just me.
I know, I get it, and I loved the speech that Jon gave, because essentially that's really what they were. I mean,
right.
If you remember back to Corran Halfdan when he was telling Jon Snow about the Watch and said, "Look, you think anybody down south is going to care? They're just going to know that some nameless bastard died protecting everybody so that you could, basically live in a castle."
Right.
And it kind of speaks a little bit more volumes here, because all of these people died to protect a threat that people down south in King's Landing don't even give a fuck about.
Nah, they don't.
You know what I mean? And so hearing it and seeing all the pyres and get them, get burned, it was, I mean, I'm not going to bullshit. It was emotional for me because, you kind of see that and you realize, damn, I mean, these people really are gone. They're not
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
kind of like a final exclamation point on a lot of their stories.
It was a nice funeral, but at the same time, I just wanted the story to start moving forward, and boy, did it move forward.
Yeah, talk about the funeral reception. So, we get everybody talking, and we get everybody kind of having their own little inner circles, which is natural. I mean, that's what would happen if you had a large gathering like this, specifically with a lot of main characters.
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought it was interesting that it opened up with Gendry kind of questioning Arya, because that really should have given us an idea of how fucking sprung this dude is. Like,
right.
that's his only thought. Like, hey, where's Arya? But, seeing him kind of get legitimized, what were your thoughts during that? Like, what did you think Daenerys was going to say when she basically called him out?
I don't know. I knew from the minute that she started talking and she kind of gave him a place. My thought process was like she wanted to cement who she is. So she's giving orders and telling you, okay, this is who I am. I'm the queen. I'm the one who's gonna rule this shit, and I'm the one giving this man this property for lack of a better word.
Lordship.
Yeah. So
I felt like it was kind of it was like another joke for whenever Davos was like, "Oh, I thought you still might be rowing," when he first when he sees him again, because everybody kept talking shit like, "Dude, who runs who has Stormlands or Storm's End because everybody, all the Baratheons are dead except for Gendry." And
true. So it was like it was a natural thing, but she didn't have to do that, and
no, she didn't,
and I think she just did it to prove. To show she was flexing her muscle a little bit. So
no, she was. So, I think she was clearly making it a point to say, hey, and I kind of thought it would have been a little bit nicer if she was like, if it wasn't for all of the weapons that you were in charge of making,
right?
We may not be having this. But I guess she didn't want to do that. She was playing. She was literally playing the Game of Thrones. So
yeah, she was.
She does that, and Sansa gives her a fucking look.
Yo,
I swear, Sansa.
Sansa, she's the new Littlefinger, and
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I'm hating her as much as I hate it. If that's the route that they wanted to go, make her the new Littlefinger and make you hate her for being so conniving and manipulative. They have achieved that, because I really have no sympathy for her, none whatsoever.
Yeah. And I get it. So when Daenerys, if you notice this, and you can go all the way back to whenever she was like the Khaleesi, when she talks to her subordinates, she's very direct. She's very, this is it. This is my way. This is what we're going to do, and all that. She's never had it to where, if you look at Jon Snow, whenever he's ever talked to anybody, specifically like when he was talking to in Hardhome, when he's talking to all the wildlings, he's like, "Look, we're not friends, okay? I know that, but if we don't fight together, we're gonna die." He's every single time that Jon Snow has ever made a speech where he's taking the charge and taking the lead, but he's also incorporating everybody around it, like it's a team and group effort.
Right.
And I think that in this episode, it really highlighted the difference between Jon Snow and Daenerys, the way they are as far as leaders are concerned. Because Daenerys, the way she starts it off is, "Hey, Gendry, your father was Robert Baratheon, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he want to kill me? You remember that?"
And I thought she was gonna.
I thought she was gonna fucking kill him.
No, I didn't think that. I thought she was gonna. I thought she was gonna shame him or something, but not to. I never thought. It never crossed my mind that she was gonna kill him. Because
I know. I'm just joking. But my point is though is that that's how she started it out. Like that's why everybody every time she's talking, it kind of like everybody tenses up. Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Because they don't see her the way she is when she's basically in her small council.
Right.
And Jon Snow's the exact opposite. Like the way he talks to everybody is the same way that he is with all of the people or with none of them. And so I thought it was interesting that they made it a point to highlight that, and then we get to everybody kind of calming down, everyone, all right, fine. But the interesting thing is they made it a point for Davos to bring up the Lord of Light again, and for him to basically say, look, something happened, and now all of a sudden the dead are defeated, and the Lord of Light just fucks off again.
Yeah, that's true. So, that's when he was talking about her, that he was Melisandre, that he was gonna kill her, and all of a sudden she just killed her.
Yeah,
kill herself.
All of a sudden, the Lord of Light's gone out of here, and I don't get it. Like I don't know what that could mean, but there's got to be a reason why they even brought that up, because. For the most part, any kind of conversation that's held in this episode has some sort of significance to either current events or future events. I think. Just because, you see them talking, okay, cool, it moves on to, what's it called? Tyrion and Jaime kind of playing their drinking game with Brienne.
Right.
And so I'm like, what? Go on.
No, because I was gonna bring that up too, because I remember when they had the feast and Brienne and Tyrion and Jaime, they were playing that game that he already played that game before. I don't remember.
Well, yeah, he played it with Shay and the Lannister camp. When he was about to fight.
Yeah, but I remember him playing that game, so I guess that's his favorite game. But I think the whole so it's true what you say. They use this little they sprinkle a couple of things here just to pay out on the story later on. So and that scene itself, it was just because Brienne, needed to lose her V card with Jaime.
Yeah.
So
which we'll get to later on. But then it moves to Tyrion kind of talking to Bran, and again, the fact that they brought this up, Bran says the wheelchair is made. It was the exact one that, Daeron Targaryen built for his crippled nephew.
Yeah, because he's
going
back in time.
I know. That's all he does is just go back. He's like, fuck the present, man. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go explore. And, whether or not that's meaningful, I don't know. We only have 2 more episodes left, so I don't know how much. Like, what, are they going to just fucking show us like a full-on 20-minute expose of what he's been searching or something? Because
I don't know. I don't think.
I mean,
could it be that it's going to be part of the prequel show that they're planning?
I mean, it could. I don't know, man. I don't really think that would be. I don't think that would be part of why they're doing certain things in season 8. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't think that because they're not involved with the prequel. Like, prequel is its own thing. Yes, it should be technically about the Long Night, but it's not. It does not connect to this world as far as maybe they're going to explain certain things in the prequel.
Right.
No, I don't believe that that's what the writers would have done with this season, because then it's like they don't even have to finish certain things or storylines. They could just be like, fuck it, y'all will explain it later on.
Right. So,
I mean, that's just my thought. But after that, it basically moves to with Bran, or not Bran. I'm sorry. I don't know why I brought up Bran. It moves to Jon Snow and him talking to Tormund and everybody kind of gathering around him. And you can tell that this is direct. There's a reason why this is happening. And at first, when I heard Tormund the way he was talking, I was like, oh shit, is Tormund gonna fuck up and say something drunk? Because you've been around with friends.
Yeah, I've been around belligerent people. I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna get out of line.
He's gonna say something. I didn't think he was going to get out of line, but I was like, okay, Daenerys is right there. Tormund's drunk. He's talking about glory days. Is he going to fucking bring up Ygritte or something? Like, is he about to just fucking vomit something to where it's like all of a sudden an awkward situation?
Right.
With just because the way Dany was looking and the way everything was going, I was like, okay, something's got to be said to where it's gonna make it tensioned, but it's without anybody realizing it except for the people involved, which.
Right.
Makes sense. I mean, you start seeing that Jon is embracing his brotherhood, or the brother, I guess, his brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
And when they made it a point for Tormund to basically say, who climbs on a dragon? A fucking madman or a king.
Right.
The moment he said that, I went, oh, fuck, dude.
There goes the inappropriate.
Yeah.
He said something inappropriate, but he didn't even know he was saying it.
He wasn't saying it in a way to
offend
talk
her.
Down to Daenerys. Yeah, he was just literally, like, he's not used to seeing somebody on a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And, his love for Jon is obviously, he'd follow him wherever he wanted.
Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind. And it reminded me of when just that part, like to see her kind of get so isolated and start seeing and looking around and going, okay, Jon and his friends obviously love him for being a king.
Right.
She starts looking around. She sees Jaime and Tyrion, her own hand, basically laughing and having a good time with basically somebody for the Winterfell and the Starks and the Lannisters. And then she looks again. There's no Missandei because obviously she's with Grey Worm.
Right. Or Grey
so
Worm.
it was fucking Grey Worm. So it was pretty. It was interesting to get that kind of situation because, and I'll bring this up later, but it reminded me of something, and they've literally have mentioned so many times that season 1 and season 8 are parallel to each other. This scene right here is a big parallel, and I'll revisit it once we start going there. But then it goes to basically Sansa coming up and talking to the Hound.
Okay.
And basically, this has been a controversial topic since then. Okay, and I don't know what your thoughts are. For me, I could understood it, and Avery understood it. When have you heard about it?
Which one? When
so the Hound is talking to Sansa. He's trying. He doesn't really care. And he's like, look, if if you would have come with me, none of that stuff would have happened.
Right.
Ramsay, Littlefinger, none of it.
Right.
And Sansa replies like, if none of that stuff was there, I would still be that little bird.
That's true. I mean, I don't know what's the controversy about. I haven't heard anything, but I totally understood what she meant. I mean,
I understood. I understood what she meant. Avery, my 11-year-old daughter, understood what she meant. She wasn't.
It made her.
It made her who she is now.
Yeah.
And the controversial thing that people have been kind of going out, or at least the feminism people, or maybe extreme feminism, because I'm a feminist and
right.
I understood what the writers were saying is.
Right.
People were upset that they were saying that the only reason why she's, if she would have never gone through the rape and all that stuff, that wouldn't make her who she is. That's not what they were saying.
No.
What she was saying is, look, if I didn't go through that, I'm not happy I went through it, but I'm stronger because it.
Right.
And
exactly.
That's it.
She's
not sitting there going, oh, I'm glad that I went through it.
This is what I'm getting very annoyed with a lot of shit that is going on lately. Like people reaching for shit when there's nothing really there, and that's what I took it for, and that's exactly what he meant. It's like with anything, it's not saying, oh yeah, I wanted to get raped because now I'm a stronger person. No, it's just because.
That's what happened. That was part of her life.
There is a pain there is a saying that says pain will make you grow. It's just you haven't grown as an adult until you lost either divorce or lose somebody close to you. It's just the way it is, and that's known. That's like generally known. So for somebody,
I know, and so it's just everybody was just up in arms.
Yeah, and so that's what I gathered from that. This is all new to me. I'm like,
oh really?
Where would you get this from?
I know.
Yeah, because me, I don't.
It's just I know. It's just anybody that wants to be upset.
Those little back and forth. Like sometimes I plant the seed and let people go crazy, and then I just be out and come back 3 hours later and wait my feet and just laugh on my own. But
I know it's just it's funny because everybody wants to sit there and chastise either the comments or the writers, and I'm like, dude, you guys are literally upset about
what's funny
bullshit.
Is that I'm watching it there with my wife, and my wife, she was the first one who said, damn right, because when you go through shit like that, it makes you evolve as a person. Either you get stronger,
even Avery said it.
Either you sink
Avery literally said,
plain simple. This is a dog eat dog world. And,
I know.
So her going through all that nonsense made her who she is, and she's stronger for it now.
I know, and Avery said it. Avery even agreed. She was like, yeah, right. She wouldn't have been a part of that. Like she wouldn't have gone through it. So it's just. It's a little different when you have, all these people, everybody paying attention to the show. Things get highlighted, things get brought up. I understand it. That's cool. But nobody's talking about this next thing. Or at least nobody's really sitting there chastising fucking Arya, okay? Because we get to probably the most embarrassing diss that Game of Thrones has ever given us. Okay. The moment I saw Gendry,
that was hard.
Literally on a mission to find Arya. I was like, dude, he's in for a rude awakening, man.
That was hard to watch.
and it is, because the moment he was like, look, I don't even know what to do to be a lord. And the moment he asked the question, he said, I love you. I was like, how the like, damn, dude, like, it really is. It's that good, huh? Okay.
It was that good, I guess Arya.
Now, I've had my fair share of heartbreak. Okay, I'm not gonna act like I'm the ladies' man or anything.
We all have.
But the moment, that I heard Arya go, "You're gonna make somebody, happy," I was like, "Oh fuck, she's done." Yeah. The moment she started with that, "You're going," I was like, "No, she's fucking done, dude." And it makes sense. I mean, just like in season 1, she told Ned, "Hey, I'm not gonna be a lady. I don't want to be that. That's not me."
Right.
She tells again Gendry. So, I mean, it makes sense for her character, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
There's no reason why.
It does.
But I don't hear anybody bitching about her fucking taking advantage of Gendry.
But she always said it since probably the first episode. She said, that's not me. You know, one day.
No, I know.
So she's never going to be a lady or Winterfell, whatever it is. She
didn't want to be that, period. And no. I appreciate it. I can understand it. Man, Gendry, dude, you know, people are talking shit about, you know, the last time a Baratheon got rejected by a Stark woman. What the fuck happened?
That's
I'm like, oh shit, Gendry's rebellion. But whatever.
No, I don't think it's gonna go that far.
I know. I'm just saying. Like he doesn't seem like he's gonna go crazy because of it. But I mean,
he's a lord now, so he could get any.
Yeah, he's a lord, dude. He's gonna have any fuck. Yeah,
oh,
dude.
Yeah.
He could marry whoever.
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
He'll be fine.
Maybe he'll marry Jaime and Brienne's fucking child because they knocked it out. Oh man, what do you think about that? What do you think about Jaime climbing mountains?
Oh man, it was not sexy.
It was a very.
It was awkward.
Yeah, because the word I'm trying to use is it was very like stoic. It was very.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know how to describe it, but
what's the word that I was thinking? Stale, very stale. That's what
it was. It was beige. There was no passion there.
Exactly, there was no passion. It's like, you know, like when you watch a movie and there's like some tension and like, oh man, I can't wait for this to fuck. when I was like, oh man, they're gonna fuck.
Yeah, you know, with them I was kind of like
expression, but I hope that, you know, dead ass. I don't think I was gonna utter these words out of my mouth, but I said I hope they don't show her tits.
Right, it just felt it felt kind of weird, and you know, even whenever he tried to break the tension up when he was like, I've never slept with a knight.
Yeah,
I'm like, I mean. That's true, but
like, oh my god, I hope they don't show her tits.
But I knew that they weren't because it didn't say anything about nudity in the credits or whatever. So I was like, I know they're not going to show anything, but still, it kind of felt just felt weird. But seeing their interaction, it made you realize how natural the next scene was, because then we moved to Daenerys and Jon.
Yeah,
and what. So if you think back to season 1, if you remember this part, because watching Daenerys kind of talk to Jon and basically give him almost a condition, like, hey, look, if as long as you stay quiet, as long as you don't tell anybody else about your lineage,
right,
we can keep things together, right? I mean, that's kind of like blackmail, isn't it? That's like she's just blackmailing her vagina. Is that not? Is that not what I'm saying? Right? Am I hearing that right? Like, she's holding that shit hostage now. She's like, no, if you want it, you're gonna keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, she
right? I mean, am I misreading that?
Yeah, she using the pussy card, the P card.
Man, dude, she just that pussy control, man.
Yeah, she did.
So, I can understand Jon's point. He doesn't necessarily need to tell anybody, because what's the fucking point, right? But he's always had this earmark on his entire life. He's always held that he's been a bastard his whole life.
Right. Now all of a sudden.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine you right now, or me, finding out that we're a fucking prince to some guy, king in Spain or England or something? We'd be like, what?
I'd be like,
we'd be like, wait. I'd fucking be telling everybody, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so with him basically saying, look, I have to tell Sansa and Arya. Those are the only two people that he's ever grown up with, and he feels like he has to tell them.
Those because are the only two family he got left. Yeah.
Exactly. They're his real family, his real blood, and for him to be able to tell them that, sure, like he doesn't have to prove to them anything, but he also wants to make sure that they know that their father, Ned Stark, was not a fucking unhonorable man. I mean, he was as honorable as he could be.
Right.
And so hearing Daenerys talk about, hey, look, don't tell him. This is the only thing I've ever begged for, which is true. She's never begged for anything. When she started explaining why people would kind of gravitate to him, my first initial thought was, this is Viserys when he's talking to Jorah, and he's like, they love her, you know?
Right.
He's looking around the room, and he sees at Vos Dothrak, and he's like, I've never had that. I've not even had a piece of it. How can you lead without love, without war? I forgot the exact quote, but he says, how can anybody be a king without love or all that stuff? And it really took me back to season 1 to see that with Daenerys now, because she's always had that identity of this throne is mine. And the first time in her life, she's going, possibly can't.
Did you think she was desperate because she wants she don't want to give up the throne, or because she wants to keep her relationship with Jon?
I think it's both. I don't think she's desperate because
I think she was. I don't think she was desperate. I think she was showing a side of weakness, that we all have. And sometimes, when you're in a position of leadership or power, you don't want to show that to everybody else, because then your authority becomes questionable, or your judgment, or whatever. And that was a point where she knows he already bended the knee, and she didn't have to let her guard down. And she did, and I thought that was a sweet moment. Actually, I didn't think. And at the same time,
so did I.
At the same time, I was thinking, okay, she's losing a grip. And not, God forbid, I get misconstrued what I'm trying to say here. I think she's just like, she being very cold, very calculated, not in a bad way, but she being very clear of what her path is and what she wants to do and where she wants to go. And now she see all that threatened, and she feels like she has no control over it, because she always had 3 dragons. Like, I got 3 dragons and these huge armies behind me. Nobody can stop me. Now all that can be decimated by him just saying, "Hey, I am the king of the realm."
Yep. Well, and this also leads me to one of the other Targaryens that said something. He said something twice that this is starting to come into, and I believe this was in season 1 as well. Yeah, no, it wasn't season 1. No, well, this first quote was. The next one was a little later, but
okay.
Basically, Aemon Targaryen. Do you remember what he said? He said death. He said love is the death of duty, and that's extremely true, because if you look at everything that these two have done as far as making their decisions on because of their love for each other,
right? You
can really see. I mean, that's the whole reason why she's, because of her love for him and her love for wanting the Iron Throne, she can already tell that things aren't going to go the way it should be, mainly because he technically does have the better claim, and everybody gravitates to him. I mean, there's a reason why everybody's made him, given him his titles, even though he's been reluctant. He's like, I don't want to fucking rule. And so that quote, love is the death of duty, but also another quote from Aemon was basically, a Targaryen alone in the world is it's sad. It's a sad thing to have, because right now she feels alone. She has lost so many people in her life. And so finally, for her to share something like this with her significant other, but yet he is a Targaryen as well, and he technically could be a king over you, you're going to have some conflicting ideas. You're going to start going, shit, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And so I thought it was brilliant the way that they kind of broached that subject, because that is a very real situation to be in. If you haven't been in it, which I haven't, because I'm not a king or a Targaryen.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I've been in relationships where people are like, they don't want certain things to happen or to come out.
Right.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing if she or your partner is telling you that with just you two. It's another thing to kind of hold it out in front of other people, but the way she's approaching it is, listen, I know that this is going to happen if your lineage gets out there.
Right.
I can see it. And so I'm just asking you, please don't do it.
Because she feels like she wants both. She wants the kingdom and the man. And she feels that if he comes out with it, she's gonna lose the man. because she knows it's like the kingdom is secure, but but she's gonna lose the man because now she has to give it up to him, and probably that's something that probably she's not even willing to do, or it never entered her mind.
I know, and it kind of, again, John's basically saying, look, I don't care if they give it to me, I'm always gonna call you my queen.
Right.
So the next day they're having their war council and they're talking about King's Landing and all this stuff, and Sansa brings up a very, very good point. She says, our men need to rest. Now,
do you think she did it because she really cared about the men, or she did it just
she was doing it because she was like, I don't want my men to go down there right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I felt too. I think she was like being snotty, like, bitch, we just came up here, lost half of my army. You're not gonna have your men prep for war? Like, get out of here.
Now, granted, technically though, she should have listened to them because of her dragons, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting to see Jon Snow kind of stick up for Daenerys, and almost make a point to show Daenerys, look, this is what I mean. Like, we made an honor, or we made a pact, and we're gonna honor it.
Right.
And so that was the whole reason why Sansa and Arya kind of go on, and they want to have that meeting with him. But what did you think about that whole Godswood meeting of the Starks?
I think that's what it was. I think it was him saying, listen, I'm a man of my word. I will call you my queen. You're my queen. I already bent to the knee. So whatever you need me for, I'm there for you. And you already proven your loyalty. Now it's my turn. My turn to give you my undivided loyalty. Now, if going back to what you said, when they were in the Godswood, like I was mad because I was like, don't tell them.
Yeah, I was pissed
I was like,
too.
Don't tell them, man, because she already they're not all in on her, So Arya, she's like, I think she's the truest person in that family, because she's like a female version of Jon Snow.
Yeah.
She whatever it is that she says she'll do it. And she'll stick to it. She won't lie to you. She won't be conniving or try to be manipulative. I think she's the truest person in there. So I was like, it's fine if you tell Arya. Don't tell Sansa, because she's good. And then when they made a promise, like in the minute that she said, I cannot promise something that you haven't told me, I was like, that's a dead giveaway. God. That's a dead giveaway that the minute that person has a chance, I've been around snitches, and I know.
She was crossing her fingers behind her back. That's what
she was. Man. She was her fingers and her toes too. I was like, you tell me, I'm gonna tell everybody after this. Can't wait to tell somebody.
Well, what sucks about it is that basically Ned kept this secret for a fucking reason. Okay, because he knew that if word got out, shit would happen. Okay, and I did think it was interesting. And again, the writers are either doing this on purpose or they really are just gonna make her a fucking bitch. Because when Jon was trying to explain, hey, look, Daenerys is our queen, and she didn't have to be here, but she she chose to fight with us and all that. And Sansa's like, Arya killed the Night King. I'm like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, you act like Arya would have just fucking easily taken him out. I'm like no, dude.
It wasn't luck. Like, she prepared for this fight.
Yeah.
Like, she was
I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Sansa. Don't fucking question that shit.
Like she was Tyson in '89. It's like, get out of here. She was like,
I know.
It was a stroke of luck. Don't talk
so I'm like
she was waiting by the door and like,
she fucking planned it all out. I'm like, dude, fuck you, Sansa. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? Stop it. And knowing that Sansa is playing this kind of game, I thought it was interesting that it wasn't Jon that really told him, it was Bran. And so in a way, Jon didn't really tell them, Bran did. So, I mean, you could look at that however you want. I don't, what. Either way, Bran obviously knew something would happen, because he was like, look, it's your choice. Look, he could have been like, I know what the outcome's going to be, but hey, dude.
Bran It's Emil. He has become the seeing eye, like God's seeing eye. He doesn't have the power for you to make you do something or to wield his will, but he knows that what's gonna happen as long as he doesn't say shit. That's
right.
Like,
he's just a puppet that can see the strings. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to interfere with it because he knows how things are going to happen.
Right.
Yet he's not going to say anything about it because, what's the point? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I
guess that's why they added to it, because like when you see everything, there's no time in your existence. You see everything in the past and what's gonna happen in the future. You'll probably be a depressed motherfucker too.
Yeah, I mean, you'd kind of be like, God damn,
what's
dude,
the point?
I don't know what.
Exactly.
And just like what Manhattan said, he's not omniscient, and whereas Bran technically is, he can go anywhere he wants. He can see everybody else's future and past without, that's huge. Manhattan could only see his own future and past. So, it's even more, just think about not only your life, but the lives of fucking millions. Like, dude, that would be so daunting and probably so just mind-fucking that you would just kind of lose it a little bit. You'd be like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
But then we move to the Jaime, Tyrion, and Bronn reunion. What do you think of that?
Oh, man, that caught me by surprise. I thought Jaime was gonna bite the dust.
I did too. I thought one of them was gonna die.
I thought he was gonna put an arrow through Jaime's heart. I was like, oh shit.
Dude, it was tense, man, because I didn't know.
That motherfucker is crafty. How the fuck did he just win? I mean, I guess everybody was celebrating. Still.
I mean, yeah, it's celebrating and nobody's watching. They were in Wintertown.
I mean,
anyway,
there's nobody by the door. That's the hand of the queen.
Well, no, I know. Well, no, they were in Wintertown, so nobody's going to be protecting the door. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, he had a point. I mean, he's been with Tyrion for half the series, and then basically Jaime for the rest.
Right.
And he still hasn't gotten his fucking castle that he's been promised.
He's
kind of like, and he's making a bet too. He's going, look, either Cersei's going to give me a castle, and I'm going to kill you after the war's done, or when y'all kill her, y'all are going to give me a fucking castle. But either way, I'm getting a castle out of this now, and which is rightfully so. That's what he did.
Yeah, he's very clear. Man. He's very clear who he is. He's moved by money and power, pretty much. That's it.
Absolutely.
I got no loyalty to friends or anything. And even on one of those episodes from last season when the dragon was gonna light him up.
He saved Jaime, he said, look, listen.
If somebody gets to kill you, it'll be me. So I'm thinking, oh shit, Jaime's gonna die now. that's what like.
I was thinking that was gonna come back and get him. So I was like, fuck, man. But no, he was like, look, I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm gonna see who's gonna win, who comes out on top, and y'all are gonna give me my fucking. They're gonna give me my castle. Okay. So I thought that was cool. I didn't. Again, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know if because the moment he shot that fucking arrow, I was like, oh shit, dude.
I thought it was
because it reminded me of whenever Tyrion shot Tywin, because it was kind of like a very quick. All of a sudden, it just happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, shit.
Like I knew who was gonna kill him when he was holding it. I was like, kill his wife. Yeah, he's gonna kill you.
Whatever. But then we move on to, I know. But then we move on to the betrayal, right? The fucking very moment that Sansa has the opportunity to fucking just blurt it out.
She didn't even wait. I told you, it's like I knew it. I was like, I know.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, please don't, Sansa. Don't fucking do it, dude. Specifically the hand of the queen that you don't fucking like.
She knew exactly. She's the new Littlefinger. When I saw that, I was like, oh shit, she's Littlefinger. Fuck that.
Well, here's the thing though. Okay, I think maybe she's setting it up, but I don't know if this is going to be like a twist, kind of near like last season's end, where we thought she was going to be, angry at Arya, but then she turns a Littlefinger. So I don't know.
Right.
I can't complain about it as a whole because we don't know what the ending is going to be. But the fact that she was smart enough, and I use smart, but to tell Tyrion knowing what would happen, because she knows that Tyrion is afraid of her.
Right.
She knows that his loyalty is divided as well. So she was like, all right, I'm just going to plant this little seed in there and see what happens.
Yeah, because she already planted a couple of seeds from the previous episodes. Like, oh, do you believe your sister? I thought you were smarter than, I thought you were smarter, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So she is manipulative to a level that we haven't seen from her ever before. And yep. I mean, I'm not liking her. Like, and I used to love her, man. I used to feel for her, and I'm like, fuck, man. When she set the pooches on this motherfucker, and she watched them eat him alive, I loved her. I was like, that's Sansa right there. But now I'm like, yeah, fuck that bitch. I hope they kill her too.
I know, dude. I'm just fucking. I'm over her.
And I think that's what's gonna happen. I think she is gonna die, and they're making you not give a fuck about her. So when
I don't think so. I have a different theory on that, but
you do.
Just me.
Well, probably the thing. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. There's certain things that are like they giveaways, because I remember like when Grey Worm was talking to Missandei and say, okay, we're gonna, after all of this, we're gonna leave and live a happy life. I was like, oh, that's a seal right there. He's gonna die. I thought he was gonna die in the war.
I know. Well, we'll get that. We'll get there.
So that was like kind of sealing his fate as a writer or in a movie. When you see that little scene, oh, we're gonna live so happily ever after, whatever. Oh no, motherfucker, one of you is gonna die.
Yeah,
but
that's a death certificate, right?
Yeah, it is. And and then and sure, like just like she planned it, here comes Tyrion and goes and blabbers to this. Oh my God, bro, that scene.
Like I said, we'll get there. Right before that happens, though, we start seeing some goodbyes. We see Jon and Tormund, Jon, Sam, and Gilly.
You think Tormund is gonna come back again for the next or the final episode? I think he is.
I think he is, but I think it's not going to be the way we think. Mainly because of some kind of the wording that they used. I mean, he said you have the North in you, and then he was like, maybe we may not see each other. And he's like, you never know. I mean, if those aren't telling, I mean, I have a feeling that something's going to happen to where the Night King's really not gone, or something happens where somebody else turns into the Night King, aka Jon Snow, and he has to go back up north, and now we have another Night King, and it's just it's too coincidental that he says that to Tormund.
Yeah, but how can you explain another Night King now? Because a Night King, you have to make him with a dragon glass to the chest or some other type of ritual that we don't know anything about. So you say
we know.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no reason.
There's dragon glass.
Yeah, there's dragon glass everywhere, but there's no reason to believe that.
I know. It's just a wild theory, man. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not. That's one that I feel like is a little bit too far fetched. But then again,
sure.
There's one. Then again, remember the very first episode at the end when they leave a baby for the Night King to pick him up, and that was a baby that was alive. Do you remember?
Yeah, but that was in the first season. Yeah, I know.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But you're right. You're right. Though. He turned that baby.
He turned that baby when he was alive. So we haven't seen nothing about that baby since.
No, I know that, but at the end of the day, though, the Night King was killed, and so if he turned everybody and everybody else that he turned died.
That's true. But the thing is that if he turns somebody who's dead, so that's one.
I get what you're saying, because the baby was alive.
Yeah.
Versus.
So he probably didn't want to create another Night King that he was alive, that he's his own age, whatever. I don't know what's the reason, but
well, the eyes turned the same. Remember, whenever the baby turned and we see the Night King actually created, the eyes do the same thing.
Right. Well, that still didn't. It didn't like. I don't see a director making a specific scene unless you're a crappy director. And I'm saying that. Hey, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that this is a bad director, but I don't see a decent director setting up a scene at the end of the show and not have this payout. So at one point.
I
So,
know, man.
so if
there's so many things that could happen.
If there's a Night King somewhere, in that's later on down the line, to me that would be him, because we never got anything after that live baby that was given to the Night Walker, the White Walker. But go on.
Well, no. What I was gonna say though is one of the saddest goodbyes was John and Ghost.
Yo, he ghosted John. he
ghosted Ghost, man.
He goes to Ghost. I'm like,
I know.
And
the David Nutter, who was
I
know. I know. Calm down.
He was hurt.
David Nutter.
No,
David Nutter was the director. Listen,
David Nutter
was the director, and he basically said, "Hey, listen, I understand you guys are all upset, but just relax. The reason why we couldn't let him kind of really say goodbye is because of CGI budget. Whether that's true or not, I mean." Dude.
Really? A CGI? They couldn't use the freaking prop? Come on, that's...
Dude, I'm just saying, that's what they said, okay?
No, you know what? I call it bullshit. I think I think it was a misstep from the writers, the director, whatever.
I agree.
They're not gonna be flawless, and I think this is definitely a misstep, because that was such a heartbreaking moment. I'm like, that's not John, man. That's not who he is.
Well, you remember whenever he first found him in season 1.
Yeah, that's what
he wasn't a Stark, and technically
he saved him.
He realizes in this season that he's not a Stark, he's a Targaryen. So
no,
I mean, I could see the correlation, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely
that doesn't change who you are inside. You know, all of a sudden you find out you're the Sultan, or what is it, Nahar, whatever Wonder Woman reference. You're not gonna change who you are inside. You're gonna be still John. We might not have a podcast again, but we're not gonna stop talking unless you're an asshole.
I know, but
it doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change who you are inside. So
I know, I get it, but that was their reasoning, and I mean, who's to say? I mean, dude, you got to remember that these episodes are 120 fucking minutes.
No, I know.
But the CGI cost of The Long Night alone must have been fucking astronomical, dude.
I'm sure.
It probably was like a big budget fucking film. So, you know, at the end of the day, was it that necessary? If they could figure out a way to add some other CGI in a different area or have him pet Ghost, they probably had to cut costs. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I get it. It's not what anybody wanted to see, but that was what they explained. Whether or not that was true, who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
Still.
But you know, after they say goodbye and all that stuff, we get to Varys and Tyrion talking. Obviously, he's told Varys.
Hey Varys.
Well, if you remember, if you remember last season, you know, she asked him, "Hey, look, promise me that if you ever conspire behind my back, you'll look me in the eye tonight and tell me, or I'll burn you alive." Well, he's probably gonna get burnt alive. Sorry.
You think so?
I mean, it's there because he is conspiring against her.
Yeah,
and
they both are.
Yeah, so
they both
I'm just
are. And this a foreshadowing.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, Tyrion's not. He's not betraying her. He's trying to convince Varys, look, I don't think that that's the case. Maybe they can rule together.
I think Varys is gonna twist it in a way that Tyrion's the one that's acting as a traitor, and he gets lit up.
Either way, I think both of them are gonna die, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go through the list of who we think is gonna die on the next episode at the end of the show. That's gonna be the closer because. Yeah, I want to know who you think is gonna bite the dust.
And so we hear them talking. We hear, okay, cool. I get it. That makes sense. Well, then we see Missandei and Grey Worm hugging or kind of holding hands, and then we see the Cells and Dragonstone. Here's the thing about me and how I was watching it. Okay.
Oh man.
I'm sitting there, and I'm watching Daenerys fly in, and I'm going, oh shit! And her music, the Dragon's theme starts coming in, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude! She's arrived at Dragonstone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking of anything else except her being at Dragonstone. That is fucking it. I'm thinking, oh yeah, maybe they're calling back because last time she was there, you know, she had all 3 dragons. Now she's got 2, and one of them's beat up pretty bad. And all of a sudden, I see a fucking arrow just get shot in Rhaegal. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, bro! When I saw the first arrow, I was like, what the fuck?
I thought it was fucking fake. Okay, let's put it that way. I thought what I was watching was a joke. I was like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
There's not even in my head. I was not thinking, oh, okay. Yeah, we should have been remembering about Euron's fleet. And the writers even said it. They were like, this is the reason why it happened, because at that moment, you're not thinking about Euron's fleet. You're not thinking about Cersei. And you're not realizing that they obviously, while they weren't fighting the North, they were doing shit to help stop you.
Yep. They were setting up.
I saw that arrow go through his fucking neck, and I went,
oh my god.
I mean, it broke my fucking heart, dude.
I think we both shed a tear at the same time.
Because I had to stand up at that moment again. I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Are you seriously kidding me right now with this shit?
That
moment, from then on till the end of the episode, because obviously the end of the episode ended too.
I couldn't process nothing.
I know. I felt so fucking bad.
Yeah, me too.
And then I thought, shit, is Dany about to get shot off a Drogon? Because
me too.
Dude, she's going straight at him, and I'm like, dude, is she about to die right here? Because it would have made, think about this, right? Let's just assume that happened. Daenerys gets shot down, she gets killed, or presumed dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that Jon would have the biggest fucking reason on fighting Cersei at King's Landing?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? So I thought that was gonna, like, Jon doesn't want to. I mean, he does want to fight Cersei, but he doesn't hate her. I mean, he does, but whatever.
He doesn't care.
That would have been fucking. That would have been massive.
He's fine with being a Winterfell.
Yeah, he doesn't really give a fuck. And so I thought that was basically what was going to happen. I couldn't process that Rhaegal just got fucking shot down out of the sky.
That was when that fucking, oh man, when that scorpion went through his neck.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I
fucking lost it, man.
I lost, me too. I was like, what the fuck is happening? What? It was one of those moments where, like, it was like, like in the Red Wedding that you're not expecting and all that shit. That it felt like that. I'm not saying that it's the same, but it was the same feeling because, like, I was not expecting none of this to happen. At least not now.
Absolutely. No, it was that kind of a moment where I was like,
yeah, because it was like
what?
All quiet. All of a sudden, woof! It's like, oh my.
Well, it wasn't even. It was quiet. It was literally the Dragon's theme in the middle of it. Like it stopped the fucking music, and I went, oh fuck. And that's.
I couldn't even when, like, and I feel so bad because even remember when they were talking to Cersei when they went to the gates, and you see Drogo all the way in the back.
I know.
Staying behind.
I know. We'll get there.
And I'm like, I know. Man, I feel bad, man. I hope they don't kill him too.
I know, dude. So after that entire thing, we realized that Missandei's actually missing, which. Okay, Euron, however he got there, with these ballistas, I don't know, dude. We're watching a fucking show with dragons, okay? The shit doesn't necessarily have to be that fucking real,
sense.
Okay?
Right.
So then we move on to Daenerys, really pissed off. She's talking to Tyrion, she's talking to Varys, she's explaining to them, look, I'm pissed off now. I'm getting there, okay? And so with them kind of explaining to her, hey, look, we don't want to kill thousands of people. Cersei, looking rightfully so, Cersei is a genius. She's bringing all the people into the Red Keep going, if you're going to burn me down, now that I've killed your other dragon, you're going to kill tens of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
So Cersei's playing the game fucking extremely well right now.
Yeah, she is.
And,
I will be. I don't give a fuck about your people. I'll burn them all.
I know. Me too. I'd have been like, dude, it's sacrifice needed to be made. Just like I'd be like Ozymandias, okay? At that point in time, I'd be like, dude, I'm killing thousands to save millions.
Millions, exactly. You know what? Like, I don't care. These don't.
Right.
Casualties of wars. It is what it is.
Because at the end of the day, thinking back to last season, she had 3 fucking full-grown dragons. Not full-grown, but big enough to where they all could light fire onto Cersei. Now she has 1. Okay, so
now she has 1, and
half an army.
I was thinking that she was gonna be mad at Tyrion because when she had a chance, she could have gone and taken over King's Landing. But I
also think that she's not. She knows what would have happened if that would have been the case.
Exactly. By the time she already had a scorpion, so who knows? She probably would have lost both of the dragons. So
yeah, maybe, probably not. Yeah. But that I like that Cersei's manipulating Euron about the baby. That's cool. I figured that would probably happen. But
yeah, I figured that too.
That baby's dead already anyway, so fuck it. I did think it was interesting to hear. You remember, I've told you this. Tyrion, I felt like Tyrion was going to betray Dany, and so to hear him basically plead to Varys, basically pleading like, "Please don't do this." I
can't wait for them to kill Varys. I hate that ridiculous motherfucker, man.
I can't wait to see it, and then we move on to Jaime leaving Brienne. People bitched at Jaime for doing it to Brienne, but nobody's bitching about Arya doing it to Gendry. Anyways, double standards. But I think everybody also misinterpreted what Jaime was doing. I think Jaime's going down there to kill Cersei.
To kill Cersei. Me too. I'm on the same mindset. I don't believe that the whole I'm a bad guy, I'm gonna die a bad guy. No, I think
he's going down there to kill.
I think he's gonna
Cersei.
go down there to kill her, and he's gonna lose his life doing it too.
Yeah, probably. And then we move on to the whole kind of surrender or not Cersei, and with Missandei up there. Yeah. This whole sequence was I was stressed because I already had known obviously about Rhaegal, so I was already hurt there. Okay, And again, we're back to another season 1 parallel. So when I'm watching it, exactly, that's exactly what it was like because I'm watching her, and and Tyrion's trying to talk to Qyburn and all that, and then Tyrion tries to go up to her, and obviously she's not having it. But the fact that she said, if you have any last words, now's the time to say it.
Yes.
I mean. Yep. It is bittersweet for Missandei because she was a slave. She got freed by Daenerys, and now she dies in chains.
She died a free woman.
She did die a free woman, but she died in chains. You know what I mean?
That's true. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but she wasn't crying. She wasn't sitting there begging for her life. She understood what was happening, and so she basically gave the message to Daenerys to burn him. And I wasn't expecting that either. Like as soon as the mountain started climbing down, I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Daenerys already lost Rhaegal like fucking 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And y'all are about to take out a fucking another person for her?
Do you think they pushing her to turn into the Mad Queen?
No, because turning her to the Mad Queen would have made sense if she didn't lose anybody that was really close to her.
That's true.
It's showing us that she has a reason now to do whatever the fuck she wants to do in King's Landing. I don't care. I support her regardless.
Yeah,
after they fucking killed Missandei, I went, she literally is one of the nicest human beings in this fucking show.
Yep.
And Cersei's going to fucking behead her.
Yeah, man. And she has a body like... I mean,
yeah, that too. But
oh, man, what a waste.
Yeah, but, it kind of... It just, I don't think, I feel like it's earned for Daenerys to get fucking pissed off because she has nobody to guide her. She has lost literally everybody except Grey Worm and Drogon.
Those are the only 2 that she has left that started with her. Well,
exactly.
and so that been there.
That been with her. Yeah, exactly. And so I'm like, dude, that is, you remember what she did when Barristan got killed? Remember? She fed her fucking people to the dragons.
Oh, yeah.
So I can only imagine what she's going to do right now. And so that ends. And next episode, we see her, basically Tyrion approaching her, and her hair's down. Her hair's not made, which makes sense because Missandei's the one that usually does it.
Right.
Well, what do you think's going to happen this next episode? Because Miguel Sapochnik is the one directing it. He's the one that did Battle of the Bastards and all the, Long Night and everything.
I don't know, but we're gonna see that. I think we're gonna see a big battle. There was a shot of what's his name looking up the sky and dragon coming.
Euron.
Euron, yeah, and I think the dragons. The dragon is gonna. I think he's gonna come
just
flying down where the sun is on their eyes, so they cannot see where he's coming from, and he's gonna have the upper hand.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't bite the dust, because I'd be devastated if she loses the last dragon.
Oh yeah, no, she's gonna be fucking.
And now I want to go into my kill count. I think.
Next episode, who do you think is gonna die?
What's that?
I said, yeah, kill count. Go on.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if. She's in Winterfell, but I want to see her die.
Oh, Sansa.
Sansa. Yeah, I think either. Well, I'm having problems with my names now.
Are you?
You know who I think is gonna make an appearance? She's Ironborn. What's her name?
Oh, Yara.
Yara. Yeah, I think she's gonna.
Yara's probably she's gonna join the fight and kill.
I think
Euron.
she's gonna join the fight. She probably heard that her brother died, and she's gonna come and join the fight, and that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be the little surprise that we're gonna get in the next episode. And I think Euron is gonna bite the dust. I think Tyrion's gonna die too, and it's not because of something he did, but because what's his name, that dickless motherfucker. I think he's gonna betray him.
Oh, Grey Worm?
No, not Grey Worm.
Varys.
Varys. God, I think Varys is gonna do something to put Tyrion in danger, and he's gonna lose his life for it.
Okay.
And now Jaime's gonna die in the last episode. That's it. That's my death count. Just those two.
So I think Euron's gonna die, but by Yara.
Okay.
I think Varys or Tyrion or both maybe will die.
I think Varys. Yeah, I think I don't think both of them. I think either him or Tyrion is gonna die.
Okay. But I think Strickland's gonna betray Cersei for whatever reason. Whatever.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Just something crazy.
He gave a little explanation why he follows her and why he's the hand of the queen.
No. I said Strickland.
Oh, Strickland. Oh, okay. No, yeah. You think so? Oh,
no,
shit.
not Qyburn. Yeah.
No,
I'm thinking Strickland.
No. Okay, I see what you're saying. Oh.
Either he's gonna turn or Snow's gonna kill him. And then
I don't see him turning. I could see. Yeah, but I could see Jon killing him.
Yeah, and then I know this is gonna be a shocker, but I truly think Cersei's gonna die.
And then think so?
Cersei's gonna die, and the last episode is gonna be kind of the aftermath about destroying the will, so called. You know what I mean?
Right, but if she
something's gonna have to happen. I really think something's gonna happen to where.
Wow.
What?
If she dies, then the ending episode has to be mind fucking blowing.
Exactly, because they
and I don't want to say it, but it has to be like Jon Snow and Daenerys dying, type of fucking mind blowing episode. Unless they have something better in mind.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I think it's gonna really. Because you remember, Emilia Clarke even said the 5th episode was her favorite. It was bigger than The Long Night.
Oh, okay.
That can only mean one thing. That could really, truly only mean that something massive really happens. So, I'm just calling it out, man. Cersei dies.
Okay.
Season episode 5. I'm just saying.
All right. I hope so. I hate that big.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Or lords and ladies. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a special episode, Game of Thrones episode 5 review.
Yeah, well, episode 5 preview, but episode 4 breakdown review.
Yeah. So
we
got 2 more episodes left. We got 2 more episodes left. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and
we
tell
do.
a friend. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's just this weekend and then the following one. So, you know what?
I know.
Days are going by fast, so that's good.
They are, man. We got a few more days and
yeah,
we'll be good. Gosh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oof, I can't wait either, man. So, yeah. If you enjoyed it, please, share with your friends, family, anybody.
Yes, hit us up on social media. I'm answering a request because there was one guy that was talking shit about me not wearing a hat every fucking time. So I'm showing my baldy today. So just to satisfy that guy. I don't give a shit.
Anyways, if you wanted to follow me at Twitter, you can enjoy everything that I do. I'm at Sir as in a knight, SER, _ John, JON, _ Aaron, ARRYN. And that, of course, if you are listening to this, is for Game of Thrones.
And you can follow me on Twitter down here. I always wanted to do that. Down here. Mr. _Everett on Twitter. And you can hit me up, inbox me, whatever, interact with me. I'm always available. And you can always follow the mother page, Real Anarchy, realanarchy.com, and the podcast. It's still holding on to the DC Films Hub if you're searching for it on YouTube, but we're working on that. So
yeah.
And we are also on Instagram and Facebook and Vero. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever. It's all good. But just remember, the night is dark and full of terrors.
Sure. Till next time, guys. Peace.
You guys have a great night. Bye.